Today I'm going to be reading the story of The Dictionary from my first collection of short stories, The Story Catcher, published in 2012. The Dictionary. Sana sat in the train, gazing out of the window. There was always so much to see on a train journey. Green fields, wild bushes, mud of so many different colors, and people sitting around watching trains go by. Besides, it was Sana's first train journey alone, and she bounced up and down the berth, thrilled with her new independence. She was going for her summer holidays to her grandparents' place, just as she did every year. Only this time, her mother wasn't going with her. There was some vacation duty her mother had, and so she would join Sana 1 month later. Summer holidays were wonderful. For one, all the cousins got together for the only time in the year, and being together in the old upstairs-downstairs house was so much fun. Even if her cousins weren't there, Sana enjoyed every moment of her holiday. Her grandparents' house had one room reserved especially for books. A room with dark brown shelves and beautiful yellow light. A smile lit up Sana's face as she thought of it. There were so many books there, just waiting to be read. One day, she dreamed of having read every one of those books, every one of them. Sana's family was clearly divided into the readers and the non-readers. Her mother, her grandfather, and she belonged to the first category, readers. Her grandmother, aunt, and 2 of her cousins belonged to the second, non-readers. Sana could spend hours sitting on the staircase or in the rocking chair in the library just reading, something her cousins could not understand at all. There were new worlds inside those books that her cousins simply didn't want to explore. "What's the point of reading stuff that isn't even real?" scoffed Devin, the eldest of the cousins. Sana usually didn't even bother to reply. From her point of view, who wanted reality all the time? The journey flew past, and before she knew it, Sana was there, in the beloved upstairs-downstairs house. She flew up the stairs, examining everything, looking to see what all had changed. "Where is the brown cupboard?" "We gave it away," replied her grandmother with a smile. "It was falling to bits." "And the sewing machine?" "We got a new one, which is much more efficient. It's smaller too and fits inside the cupboard." Sana left the library, the best part of the house, for the end. Opening the door cautiously, she breathed a sigh of relief. At least it smelled the same. Switching on the light, her heart warmed at the sight of all those books lined up on the shelves. Her grandmother laughed, and Sana started. She had forgotten that she wasn't alone. "I'll leave you alone now. You're just like your grandfather, really. Go, read, enjoy yourself." Sana smiled gratefully and hugged her grandmother. Closing the door behind her, Sana took in the room joyfully. She spent almost 45 minutes deciding what to read, and finally she picked a book she had never seen before, called The Tin House. Curling up on the rocking chair to read, she realized that there were words she didn't know and she needed a dictionary. Looking around, she caught sight of a well-used dictionary. She opened it and smelled the yellowing pages. She loved the smell of old books. By then, she had forgotten what word she wanted to look up. She leafed through the pages and found a folded sheet of paper. Wondering what it was, she unfolded it and began to read. 21st May, 1920. Dear reader, if you don't like reading, read no further. But if you do, read on. I'm Arun, and I bought this dictionary yesterday. I'm 12 years old, and I think that a dictionary is among the most fascinating books ever. And I want my dictionary to last forever. I think I will be embarrassed when I read this letter later, but I want to record what I'm reading and what I like, so that I can look at this later and smile. But before my list, a little about me. Sana read on and on. Who is Arun? She wondered. She folded the letter and put it back into the dictionary. But as she flipped the pages, she found another letter. Dear reader, if you don't like reading, read no further. But if you do, read on. I'm Arun's son, Sachin, and I'm 12 years old. My father gave me this dictionary today, and he didn't tell me about the letter. I found it and decided to write my own. My house is so different from Papa's, but so many things are the same. A new balcony has been built, looking out onto my father's mango tree. I'm going to make a list of words I love. Enchanted, delicious, astonished. Sana read the letter and then stopped. Sachin, that was her grandfather's name. And her grandfather was one of the readers of her family. So she knew that there had to be one more letter. She leafed through the dictionary once more. And there it was, another letter. It began in exactly the same way. Dear reader, if you don't like reading, read no further. But if you do, read on. I'm Sachin's daughter, Kea, and I'm 11 years old. I found this dictionary by accident and loved the thought of my grandfather writing to me. I want to write to my grandchild too, for whenever he or she may happen. We've shifted house, but I went and saw the old mango tree last year. It's so beautiful. First of all, let me make a list of the words I love. Magical, whisper, chuckle. Sana read the letter and she knew what she had to do. She went to the printer, took a fresh sheet of paper, and she began to write. Dear reader, if you don't like reading, read no further. But if you do, read on. 1 month later, when Sana's mother Kea came on vacation, she smiled. The dictionary had found the next generation.